Hi, everybody. Welcome to Bulletproof Underwear, episode number 72. I am your co-host, Yamjuice.
And I am your co-host, Flex.
And we have a very special episode of Bulletproof Underwear today. We are talking about the very initial first impressions of the PlayStation 4 with none other than Marv.
Yeah, everybody.
Wow.
Hey.
I'm Batman, bitches.
Hey, I saw that they did a thing for a little kid out there in San Francisco where they let him dress up like Batman for a day.
Yeah, everybody in the city
That was cool.
Getting involved. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, that made the news over here too. So.
Yeah, it took over Twitter, and it was like it's kind of a thing. It was like Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yep.
I guess the kid is like dying or something. He's only 5.
Leukemia, yeah.
Yeah.
And he wanted to be a superhero.
Yeah, that was really cool.
All right.
All right.
So, what is going on, Marv? How you doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Just waiting for my little one to go to bed so I could hop back on the PS4 again.
Well, as we speak right now, it is just a little after 11 o'clock your time on Saturday morning.
Yep. So I got quite a ways to wait.
Going back to bed? She goes to bed at 11 on
she
Saturday?
doesn't. It just means I have to wait till tonight to get back on.
Oh, till tonight.
That's right.
Oh, my God, this must be killing you.
It's not too bad. I played pretty late last night, so.
All right. So, Flex, you got your PlayStation 4.
Yep, I went to GameStop and picked it up at midnight.
Have you been playing on it? And your wife is playing on it right now, right?
Right now, my wife is actually able to play Call of Duty Ghosts for Call of Duty for the first time because the frame rate's higher and it doesn't give her vertigo. So.
Now, I, on the other hand, am the only person who has not got their PS4. I ordered the Day 1 edition on Amazon, and the status, as I looked this morning, is it still is preparing to ship.
Oh, that sucks.
That sucks. I am never going to buy a timed thing like this on Amazon again. I'm going to go to fucking GameStop or whatever and pick it up myself.
That's just fucking shit, man. That's not even right.
Day 1 edition.
Well, it's like I was telling Marv before. I was telling him it really didn't matter if you had a day 1 because you spent most of the night trying to get on PSN and update everything.
Yeah. So how was it? You know, what was like? So Marv, you were in line.
Yep. All of 3 hours. So it was pretty cold up here. You know, not below 0 or anything, but.
Well, Marv is in Canada. If you did not know, he's in the land of the Yukon.
Oh, not Yukon. That's Toby.
Not the Yukon. That's Toby.
No,
but
I'm just on the border of Michigan.
Sault Ste. Marie, isn't it?
Yep.
So you're actually close to civilization.
That I am. Actually, gas up in civilization. So.
All right. So how was the line? Describe that.
It wasn't too bad. There was about maybe 12 people ahead of me, and maybe about 30 behind. By the time they opened the doors. But I'm surprised there wasn't a riot. Because about 20 minutes before they opened the doors, they announced that people with the Platinum Edge cards get to go first. And there was about 3 people in front of me who had to go in back of the line that had been there like 3 hours more than I was.
Oh, man.
So
they were not happy at all.
I'll bet
and
not.
You had a Platinum card.
Yep. I don't agree with that Platinum card. I mean, that's a silly benefit if you ask me.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
They're lucky they didn't get their ass beat.
Yeah, they're lucky they didn't have a riot.
Some people were just steaming.
So you gained a little bit of insight into the mind of people in that 3 hours. So what did you glean from that?
Well, my IQ hopefully is starting to go back up because it dropped quite a few points, I think. It was unbelievable. I mean, this isn't the first. I think I did Black Ops 1. I did the midnight release, but that's the only other one I had done, and that one wasn't so bad. But this one, it was just, people were talking, oh, I'm not getting an Xbox One because of the DRM, so they're totally not in the news. And that was removed months ago. And some were saying, the Xbox One is the exact same thing at the 360, but with DVR features. And, people just were not informed.
Right.
Even online were like, yeah, I can't wait to download all my PS3 games on my PS4 and play them, and you're not going to be able to. It's insane.
So these people are early adopters, yet they don't exactly follow Kotaku and IGN every day.
I guess not. I mean, some are probably getting it just because friends are getting it, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So
what was the games that people sounded like they were the most interested in getting?
I'd say COD probably, and Battlefield were the two that you heard most talked about.
Which is funny because those games are already out.
Yeah.
On multiple platforms already. You can already get them on PC and current gen, on all the current gen.
Yeah.
So are
and people were talking about Killzone quite a bit too.
And Killzone, there you go.
I didn't hear one person mention Knack, so it's kind of
yeah, kind of.
Well, Knack looks like a kid game to me. I don't know whether you think it's a good game or not.
Kids, I think that was the goal.
Yeah, it looks like the kind of thing that would appeal to I don't know. Maybe I'm just an old fuddy dud, but that just doesn't look like my cup of tea.
Yeah.
No, not mine either.
No.
Did you guys order Knack?
Nope.
No. We both ordered Killzone. No,
I bet you got Killzone.
Killzone. I was surprised. The graphics are really intense in Killzone.
It is brutal.
It is.
Brutal in what way?
It's just so different than what I'm used to on the PS3. It's just everything's so much improved. Frame rate, graphics. I haven't tried multiplayer yet.
I haven't either.
It's something maybe I'll try tonight, but it's a really nice game.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's try it tonight.
Oh, you bastards! I want to kill you.
But
fucking Amazon.
I even tried it over remote play, and holy crap, I don't know. The remote play is the thing that surprises me the most right now.
And that's with the PS Vita.
Yeah, I even went into a lobby. Ghost lobby with remote play, and I didn't even suffer any lag above the normal lag, as far as I could tell.
Huh.
Okay.
So,
wow.
I mean, it's hard because things are smaller. Your crosshairs are tiny and that kind of thing. But considering what's happening and the graphics are being transferred by Wi-Fi and the inputs go back and forth, and it just blew my mind.
Cool. So, Flex, do you have a Vita?
No, I had a Vita, but I traded it in for a tablet. But I'm going to get another one. The price just went down on them, and I think Marv told me that Radio Shack even has them for like 160. So the price has really dropped.
Well, I'm probably going to hold off because I got a Nintendo DS back in the day, and it was kind of fun once in a while, but I didn't really get my money's worth out of it.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing with the Vita, its selling point, right, is if you can't use the TV for some reason, then you could use the Vita.
So let's say your wife wants to watch some insipid reality show.
So that would be when the Vita would kick in.
So she can be watching her vapid, TV show, and you can still be playing your whatever game you want on your Vita.
Yep.
Now that sounds like a pretty good idea.
But on the other hand, if you have access to the TV, nobody in the right mind is going to take the Vita over a monitor or TV.
Yeah.
So it's like a backup thing, right?
So do you play on a monitor or TV?
I play on a 50-inch Samsung LCD.
All right.
No.
So all right. So what's the experience like? Okay, so the very, very initial day one midnight launch kind of thing. So you got home.
I got home at about, let's say, 1 o'clock Eastern time. A little bit before that. So plugged her in, and I had the update ready to go on a USB stick.
Oh, wow, you did that.
But then I decided, you know what, Sony was saying, everybody should do it online just to be safe. So I figured I'll do it. So by the time I put in my time zone and the PlayStation and all that kind of stuff, the update was already halfway done. So it only took me like 2 minutes to download the update and install. So it wasn't.
Well, that's good. So you were able to keep your current. Did you change your gamer tag or did you keep it the same?
No, I'm still the same one.
Okay, so you just entered your email and.
Well, I'm not yet. So after the update, because when you first sign on.
Oh, okay. I'm rushing things.
I was signed on as user 1, which is the default, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I applied the update, reboot, and then when you reboot, you have the option of signing into PSN. So this was where, can't connect, network error, all those kinds of things. So I was like,
did you get that too, Flex?
Down for maintenance, can't connect, network timeout.
That's right. So I decided, I put in, I think, Killzone just to have a look. And then I went to bed. And then I woke up at about 5 a.m. and I was able to sign in right away. So first thing I did was go into the PlayStation Store and queue everything that I had to download. Warframe, my Call Ghost, and all that kind of stuff. And Ghost was a 14 gig download. And over PS3 that would have taken forever. But it actually took just a little over an hour on the PS4.
Okay, so you just like stick. How does that go? I mean, you had to kick in $10 more, right?
Yes, and you have to have your PS3 disc in the PS4 to play.
Okay, so you take the original PS3 disc and you stick it in there, and it's like, okay, I want to upgrade to the PS.
When you bought your Ghost, it came with a PlayStation code, and you put in that PlayStation code, and that's what gives you the $10 discount or $10.
I got you.
But to play, you need the disc in the drive.
Oh, really? Every time you play it, you have to put the disc in the drive?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
But we're still allowed to play on the PlayStation 3 as well if we want to.
So you could just take that same disc and today go after playing on 4, you could take the same disc and play on 3, and your whatever progress you advance on 4 is still going to be there on 3, right?
That's right.
So it's like you've got it on both games.
That's right.
That's good.
And it's confirmed to be the same way on the Xbox One. So
Okay.
it stays within a console family.
So do you have PlayStation 3 Battlefield 4?
No, I don't. So I can't say any difference. But I was playing with Shiz and some other guys last night, and they all said that this one was much more improved.
Oh, I'm sure it is. But did the upgrade from 3 to 4 work about the same? You just
I don't
insert
know.
the disc
Shiz
and
was
enter a
saying
code.
it took longer for people to download and stuff. So
It did. Mine, when I did Battlefield, it started loading. It loaded the campaign right away, and then it was slowly loading multiplayer.
yeah,
And then it said you could start the campaign, and it would continue to download multiplayer in the background. So
that's nice. I did the same thing with Call of Duty, but I went with multiplayer first.
Okay, so you can pick either campaign or multiplayer?
Yeah,
take that load out.
Okay, well, that's neat that they let you do that.
yeah.
All right.
And then
Keep going.
I was in a party chat also with Flex, and again last night with some of the Battlefield guys, and it was pretty clear considering everybody was using those shitty headphones.
You're talking about the cat toy?
Yeah,
The one ear?
little earbud, 45-cent things.
Right. Menu button.
Yeah, they make them in China.
I don't even know why they bought it.
Options.
Well, if it didn't have that, a lot of people wouldn't have any way to
Change
communicate,
loadout.
So
Sure.
X.
now, see, I had read
There you
on
go.
all kinds of sources that there was no headsets that were going to be supported.
There is one as far as I know. There's a Turtle Beach P4C.
Is that a high-end headset?
Yeah.
No.
But
Well,
it's not much better than earbud in my book.
it's high end
It's bigger,
compared to the
more
earbud, but
Well, no, I mean, is it like a $300
No.
top of the line Turtle Beach
No.
kind of thing?
$24.95 at Walmart.
yep.
Oh, okay. So that's just a single
Yeah,
strap, one ear
that's right.
thing.
It's just like
Okay.
a Microsoft Chat headset, except it's got a bigger earpiece.
And it works. I mean, don't get me wrong. But the only
It was-
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It was crystal clear. I mean,
did you try the cat toy?
No, I'm not even going to bother. No, everything was clear. The only thing I miss is the dual volume slider. So game chat, game volume. So, because usually I keep my chat higher than the game volume itself.
Well, the game was actually coming through the TV, right? It's not coming through the headset, is it?
You can have it go through the headset. That's the way
Why would you want to hear the game in one ear?
Well, normally I won't because I'll have my Sony ones. So
Right.
until they release that patch.
But before the patch comes out, I would just listen to it on the TV and just use it for chat.
Yeah, if my wife is sleeping and my daughter's sleeping and stuff. So it's my gaming
I'll
stuff.
tell you what, you're not going to be doing a lot of sound whoring
Yeah.
with one ear for the game sound.
Yeah.
The
But
bastards will
that
be sneaking
dual-
up on you all day. So when are they going to have? Because Xbox, I understand, is going to have the same deal. There's like the headsets are not going to be supported.
That's right. Xbox is a little bit different. Sony can do it with a software patch. Microsoft has to release an adapter. As far as Sony goes, the patch is either just before the new year or just after, and Microsoft's adapter is supposed to come out just after the new year.
Okay, but Microsoft is going to have the little cheap one ear kind of thing that you can use
In the
meantime,
box
right?
as well, yeah.
I wonder if you can use your regular headphones, your good headphones for sound, and just use the cheap thing for voice chat.
You could.
Like I've done a thing where you stick the thing around your neck and have the little voice thing.
Yep. You'd be able to do that. As long as your main headphones can get audio through some other means, like optical.
Okay, so yeah, I got one pair of headphones that gets optical.
Yeah, so you'd be able to have the game sound coming through that, and you could somehow jerry-rig the earbud or whatever inside those, and then just
Right. Well, I have to have stereo sound because I sound whore because I'm MLG.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we knew that.
Now, see, I'm a sound whore, and Flex is just an old-fashioned man whore.
No, with the especially with Ghost with that amplify perk, holy man, does it ever work nice?
Oh God, yeah, you can hear them from everywhere.
And half the time I'm just turning around like, where's it coming from? And it makes a difference.
Yeah. I was playing some private matches last night over at my sister's house, and I found out some other stuff about Ghost that's interesting that nobody's talking about. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that later. So keep going. Just keep going with the PlayStation.
I mean, there's not a whole lot much else. I have, I think, about 230 gigs left of hard drive space on the PS4.
Yeah, definitely going to need an upgrade there, aren't we?
It fills up pretty quick.
Yep.
Wow.
And the cache doesn't work the way a lot of people thought it did. Like, it doesn't clear itself. You have to clear it yourself.
Yeah.
So
What do you mean the cache?
So it's not cache in the sense of cash.
Well, talk to us about as if we're 5 here. What are you talking about? You're talking about money in your pocket, cash?
If you look at your, let's say for example, your Internet Explorer or Netscape, right?
Right.
And you have it set up to use, 100 megs in cache. Eventually it'll start rewriting itself when it gets full. So you don't have to empty it. You don't have to worry about it. So on the PlayStation 4, they call it caching the game. So if, let's say, I think Ghost needs like 39 gigs or something. So it'll write 39 gigs, but it won't delete it on its own when other games need that space. You have to clear it out yourself.
Huh.
So it's basically treat it like an install on the PS3 or the Xbox. It's the exact same thing.
Okay, so you're installing the game to the hard drive, and that makes sense.
Not in the same sense as PS3 though. When you put it in, you can start playing right away. You don't see an install bar or anything like that. It copies it in the background.
Oh, I see. Every game that you put in the tray, in the thing, it doesn't play it from the disc. It has to install it to the hard drive, and it plays it from the hard drive.
That's right. The disc is there for...
I think Xbox is going to be the same thing, right?
It is, but Xbox requires the full install ahead of time. Not as you play. So when you first put in your Ghost and the Xbox, you might have to wait 7 to 10 minutes to play.
Okay.
That's what I've heard.
So, but then after you've installed a game, then you never have to use the disc again, or you do have to use the
You
disc?
still need the disc.
Still have to
Otherwise,
use the
people
disc.
would rent, install, and then return the disc, right?
Yeah,
Right. So that's a form of DRM.
exactly. It takes
Yeah.
it takes a tag off the header of the disc to start the game.
Yeah.
Well, that does give them ultimate control down the line. So, like right now, it's like Sony came out first with there's going to be no restrictions, and Xbox did a 180 and said
Yep.
the same thing. But this is 2013. The game consoles are just coming out now. Who's to say? A year from now, 2 years, 3 years, one, the other, both could decide, you know what, we got a new plan. Here it is.
It could happen, but they would probably end up with a civil lawsuit of some kind, of class action.
Yeah,
Because it's definitely not what we paid for when we initially got it, right?
Well, I'm sure the terms of service indicate when you agree to the terms of service, Sony or Microsoft reserves the right to change, these, in the future.
Yeah, but I still don't think that would hold up.
yeah. I don't think
You don't think that is in the works somewhere down the line?
Oh, I'm sure it is. I mean, Sony's got patents on it. Microsoft has patents on it.
Yeah,
So it's going to happen.
it's just
Well,
just a matter of time till it happens.
The whole idea of discs, they would love to see it go away.
Of course.
Like let's cut EB and GameStop out of the equation entirely. Why does Walmart get a cut of any of this? Like, let's just go direct.
Yeah. No, it's going to happen. I just don't think everybody was ready for it this time.
Yeah,
The internet isn't quite there for a lot of people.
still got a lot of people who run a DSL at slow speed.
Yeah.
So, Marv, were you around when the changeover from the PS2 to the PS3 and the Xbox to the Xbox 360 happened?
I never had an original Xbox. So I've been a Sony man from the beginning, though.
Okay, so were you around for the PS2 to PS3 change?
Yeah.
Were you playing online games on your PS2?
No, I wasn't. And I didn't do any online games on the PS3 for quite a while as well.
Now, what was the reason that, there was online gaming for the original Xbox and the original PS2,
PS2,
but it was towards the later part of its life there was online, but it was only small. You know why? Most people didn't have, broadband internet.
That's
Yeah, we used dial-up. You had to use dial-up for the network adapter.
Yeah, the quote install base for broadband internet wasn't that big at the time, but
Right.
this Generation 7, that is just coming to an end. All that has changed just in that generation. Everybody's playing online multiplayer.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. No, it's and there's games like Destiny and Titanfall coming out where the game itself is online, right? There's no more single player stuff per se.
Right.
Right.
Well, did you play any of that Batman Arkham? Not Arkham. That cartoon Batman, Gotham City Imposters.
Yes, I did. We played a little bit together at the beginning.
Yeah. See, there was no single player on that either. That's strictly just a multiplayer.
And I think that's the way they should do Call of Duty. Release the single player as a separate game for the people.
Well, a lot of people say that they should do that with Battlefield.
Same with Battlefield, yeah. And
Yeah.
make people pay even a yearly subscription fee, but just keeps the maps coming.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I sort of like the idea of the whole game having a complete sort of shake-up. Like everything works a little different and you get to learn it.
Yeah, but you can do that as part of the shake-up in there as well, too.
Okay.
Because I would say there's a lot of players that don't even play the single-player experience.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, we're paying for that. That's right. So instead, take the production costs from that and create more maps or more game modes.
Yeah.
I take that back. I tried the campaign on PS4 because I wanted to see what the graphics were like.
Well, yeah, of course
So
you're going to test it out. So what's the verdict on the way the shit looks and feels?
Depends on the game.
Yeah.
Now, Assassin's
let's-
Creed, I got Assassin's Creed Black Flag, And the graphics really aren't that. I think Marv showed a post on the forum.
I saw a side by
side
side thing, and it's a remarkable how little difference there is.
Very little difference to the PS3 version. The load times were faster, and there was a little subtle, like some of the shadowing and the lighting, was a little different. But other than that, it looked just like PS3.
I haven't tried it yet, but I bought it just because I finished all the other ones, so now I have to finish all the other ones they bring out. But no, yeah, I'm not expecting big changes in that one. And even in Ghost, my biggest disappointment with Ghost is the load times didn't improve. It still takes forever to get a match.
Oh,
but
really?
Yeah.
4 times the graphics, right?
Yeah. So how does it look? I mean, can you tell a difference?
You can see it in the environment. Like, for example, there's more grass, and the grass is more, I don't know,
blades of grass.
Your guns look better and that kind of thing. The shadows look nicer. In terms
of textures,
yeah, some of the textures are improved, but not that much. I mean, not in the way they've changed in Killzone, for example.
But I didn't know. Like I know, I think you mentioned it too. I didn't experience very little lag.
I didn't see any frame drops like people were talking about.
Yeah.
I did see a little bit of lag, but nothing, not worse than we saw on the PS3.
Yeah.
And, I'm just trying to think if there's any other major. The game chat sounds the same. Like, I don't feel an improvement or a degradation or anything.
Yeah.
So is the game chat any different than the party chat as far as the quality of the voice?
I think so.
I think party chat is better. I mean, it's more clear. But even the game chat is still fine. Like,
Yeah.
It's better than the Battlefield game chat. Battlefield I still found has that stuttering, like, breakup, noise. So.
Yeah. Okay. So you're a buy gamer, so you've got an Xbox, and you're no stranger to the controller on the Xbox. So the new controller, and Flex, of course, you're the same way. The new controller incorporates a little bit of Xbox, kind of thing where the buttons are switched, the triggers.
I like that switch. The triggers feel nice, and it didn't take me very long to get used to. And last night I was playing with V Toki on the PS4, and he got used to it in about 3 games. So it doesn't take very long.
Yeah.
Right. I'm sure that it's like when I first started playing PlayStation with that little controller, it's like I would try to aim down sight and I would throw a tactical grenade,
So no, I mean, people run into that issue, but it doesn't take long to get adjusted.
But you'll get used to it. I mean, unless you're a complete idiot. Shiz posted that he was able to use his control freaks. I heard that they weren't going to be the same.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised, but
that would be sweet. I don't like playing without my control freaks. You tried them, Marv?
I don't use control freaks because they didn't improve my game.
Okay.
So I just ended up taking them off because I found they got in the way of other games and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't feel a difference at all. Maybe if I would have spent more time and played with sensitivity settings and stuff. But for me, I suck regardless.
Well, I don't know.
Me too.
I'm like, it's so important to me that when they announced that they were pre-ordering the control freaks for the next gen, I went hog wild. I got like all kinds of control freaks for both systems just because I don't want to be caught any longer than I have to without the control freaks because I'm so used to it.
Yeah,
I like the sticks on the PS4 controller. I didn't get the freaks for that, but I did get them for the Xbox One.
I find the sticks on the PS4 a little bit more resistant to change. Now, it could be that my old ones are so old and they just wore out over time.
They do soften up, but one thing is like I like the Xbox 360 controller better than the PS3 controller, except for one thing that I do like about the PS3 controller is the sticks are real easy to move. It's like they don't put up very much resistance. I like that.
I find the new one has more resistance. Not a
The new
whole
one
lot,
has-
but more.
It's more okay. See, I'm sort of sorry to hear that because I sort of like that aspect.
And I find that when you move the stick a little bit, your guy aims differently, and the more you move the stick, the faster he turns, for example, right? I find that setting on the DS4 is more precise than on the DS3 controller. So
Okay.
you got more of a range, I guess, of the way you can turn or the way you can aim.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
So
So it's kind of like speed tracking. You can, like, if you move it a little, it'll
a little
move
bit.
a little.
But
Yeah.
see, the DS3, I found that range kind of went in notches, where now it's more of a smooth gradient.
It's
More
it's,
like
it's fluid.
linear.
Yep,
Yeah,
it's fluid.
more fluid.
Yeah. Okay. So what did you think about the actual contour of the top of the sticks? Because it's an interesting, like, they always had the dome
Yeah.
where Microsoft had the dent. Okay, so they've got kind of a combination.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? Tell you the truth, I don't even notice it right now after so many hours of gameplay. So it's.
It looks like it'll be easy to adapt to.
One thing I found, your thumbs don't slip off. That's for sure. Where
Yeah.
sometimes, after playing, you'll notice your thumb moved a little bit on the stick, and you're
Yeah.
holding onto it by the side a little bit or something. And now
Yeah.
you don't have that issue.
Now, anytime you change anything like that, that's like the personal connection. That's like the most intimate way that the video game console interacts with you, is the way it feels on your hands. There's probably going to be some Sony people who hate that they changed it.
Oh, of course.
Absolutely.
People are set in their ways, right?
Yeah.
So when you're used to doing something one way, gaming one way for 7 years, to get a change, it impedes you, right?
Yeah.
But the feedback on this one's been pretty good. So
I don't think that people are going to have a problem. It looks like it's going to
No.
work.
it
It looks like it's
alright.
going to be good. Now it's a larger thing. I mean, like
Not by a
the original PS3 is so little that I hold it in my fingers, whereas the Xbox one, the little things that come out,
Yeah,
you can sort of put them in your palms. Now, as the new one, it's bigger.
not that much. I can't really tell the difference in size much.
Really?
You want me to get both controllers right now?
Yeah.
do it.
If you could grab both of them, that'd be awesome.
Next we can talk about how it went on launch day with playing games, because some of the games were not behaving properly.
Okay. God damn it! I could just kill.
Yeah,
Amazon.
Here's the two controllers.
Okay, so you got the
So-
new one on your right hand.
So this one here is the new DS4. So if you
Okay,
look
hold
at
them
the way
both up against your chest so that we get the same scale.
this is kind of awkward.
Okay, so if you hold one closer or further, it makes it look like it's bigger or smaller.
So now
There you go.
Okay.
It's a little bigger. It's a little
look at
So
heavier.
when you grip it,
It's a
so
little
when you
bit
grip it,
longer.
are you holding it in the sort of the fingers, or are you
I'm
holding it
holding
in
my
your palm?
Yeah, usually, I hold, I put these parts, in my palm.
Okay, so you play it with your palm. So yeah, the other one, try it and see, do you do the same thing?
Yeah, okay, I guess now that I do both, yeah. So this part here is definitely bigger, a little bit longer.
And so now you play with it in your palm, and before you sort of held it in like this part of
Yeah,
your
it was in
fingers.
a higher part of my palm, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So, and the other...
So yeah, I'm glad. I'm happy about that. I think that's a good change.
I don't know if you can see it, but the two knobs are a little bit further apart as well.
You done?
Right there further, which is probably a good
So,
thing, because
for
if you have
people-
control freaks on them, they will bump into each other.
Yeah, so people with bigger hands too, and you have more room.
So how's about the height of the sticks? If you compare it, are they the same or are they different?
I'd say they're about the same. Yeah. Actually, no. The new ones are a little bit lower because they don't have that bump.
Oh darn! I was actually hoping they'd be higher.
So, bump aside, they're about the same height.
Okay.
So, and then
Okay,
the
so-
triggers, they have the so your fingers don't slip off.
Right.
If you look-
Yeah, that design of the PlayStation is inexplicable. Like how it sort of slides down is
Yeah.
made perfectly
So now you
to not
that issue.
hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's aftermarket gadgets that you can put a lip on your triggers.
Yep.
Are you getting a Xbox One?
No, I'm not.
I am.
Yeah.
Actually, I can't say that. The reason I got the original Xbox was because of what's the name of that game? Anyway, there's a couple RPGs I wanted to play that were on the Xbox only, and that's why I ended up getting the Xbox 360.
Right.
So somehow
Now-
they strike a deal with some other RPG maker or something. Maybe I will.
What about Titanfall? Does that interest you?
It looks good. It really does. But that alone wouldn't do it. So if that, and then some other ones come along, exclusives that pique my interest,
Yeah.
maybe. And
Now-
in the end, if they don't sell it without Connect for $100 cheaper.
There you go. So I'm going to take it that you did not opt for the Sony Eye camera.
Nope.
I didn't either.
Oh, one thing I wanted to talk that I totally forgot about. Have you checked Flex, the Twitch feeds on the PS4?
Man, there's tons of them.
It is incredible how many people are twitching.
Yeah,
It's insane. So
there's
Oh,
hundreds
that's a
of
drag.
hundreds of.
So us people that have video capture devices are going to be overwhelmed by all the millions of next gen people.
well, you definitely have competition, but the quality is still going to be in your hands
Yeah,
because your capture devices are better than what the Xbox and PS4 can do.
So are they able to set up like like overlays with graphics and stuff like that, like a lot of Twitch feeds do?
I haven't noticed that, to tell you the truth,
I don't think so.
but I did see some people with the camera in the corner. So if you're running with a camera, I think you can do that, but I think that's it.
So are they getting the game audio and their commentary at the same time?
Yep.
Is it coming over the Twitch feed?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh my God, Twitch has just become a much more cluttered place.
No kidding. And the nice thing about it is, sometimes you're not sure if you're going to want to spend $60 on a game. And there's going to be a whole bunch of people playing these games on day one of their releases, so you can just check
Yeah.
the feed.
Well, that's already been like that as far as if you want to check out a game. There's already people twitching it.
It is, but I mean, like, this was crazy. I mean, I went through very quickly, and I probably found like 50 people. And these are people just feeding from PS4. So when you browse through the PS4 user interface and you go to Twitch, you only see the PS4 feeds.
Ah.
So you see exactly what you're going to get. You're not getting an Xbox One feed or something, right?
Right. Well, if you just go to the website twitch.tv,
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't say when you see a feed unless they've labeled it. This is from the PS4.
But they've made it a little bit different too, where if I see, I'm watching this guy play Call of Duty, well, right beside it, there's a button that says Buy Now. That takes me right to PSN, and boom, I could purchase it right away too.
Now, are you talking about on the website or watching it from the PS4?
From the PS4.
Oh, okay. See, that's smart. That's
It is.
smart. If you
And, yesterday when I was checking out the feeds, I was doing it through remote play on my Vita as well.
Cool.
yeah.
So it's kind of...
Well, so when are you going to start twitching? I want to watch your feed.
I'm not,
Not into it.
it's not, if you're twitching, let's say Call of Duty, my KD is low enough as it is. I don't need to introduce any extra lag.
That's true. If you're playing an online game and you're broadcasting on Twitch, some of your bandwidth is going to Twitch.
Oh yeah,
That's
it
right.
sucks. Twitch sucks
Yeah.
up a lot of bandwidth.
Twitch recommends that you dedicate 1/3 of your internet
Oh, wow.
To them.
to the feed. Yeah.
So, I mean, but there's stuff too that's going to be out in the future for the PS4, and I don't know if the Xbox One is doing this. But for example, if Flex is having trouble beating a part of the campaign, I can jump into his game from my PS4 and control his character.
I heard that's going to be on Xbox too.
Oh, yeah? Okay. So that's kind of neat. I mean, if
That could be
stuck
good.
Or hard up, or, I can't find it in the menu. Here, I'll show you where it is.
Yeah.
I think
Well, that reminds me, like I asked Pico. Pico was absolutely in love with Red Dead Redemption. And I said, "Did you ever get to 100% completion?" He said, "Everything except the there's a game where like Mumbly Peg where you do a knife between your fingers, and it is hard." He said he just couldn't do that. It's like I did it only because I looked at a cheat code online. And I wasn't even looking at the game. I wrote it all down on a piece of paper, and I was just looking at the cheat code on the paper while I pressed the buttons.
Yeah.
So he could have somebody finish that one thing, and then he could get his 100%.
Yeah. One thing too that I checked out a bunch of the free-to-play games and stuff. I downloaded
like Blacklight and Warframe.
Yeah, those two I got, and I think you would actually like Blacklight. Yeah.
Actually, it does look interesting.
Just for you're the run and gunning type, right?
Yeah.
You can't camp in that game because everybody has a button you can press, and you see everybody. Now, this button has to recharge and stuff, but you can do it like every 30 seconds. You know where people are, and you can just run towards them and stuff. I mean, they can do that to you too, but there's no camping in that game at all.
Wow. So do you like playing it? Does it play smooth?
I've only played one round on the first morning, and then I tried to do other stuff, and then I can't get back into the server. So I'll try again tonight.
Yeah.
Well, the network is gonna, the network is gonna have to be settled out. It's like you're a network guy. You know about these things.
Oh yeah, it's these things happen.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I'm a little surprised it happened because if you look out there's about 80 million PS3s, right?
Yeah.
And when they release a new firmware update, you got 80 million people downloading this thing, probably within so many, 2-3 days. Now they just had, maybe 2 million PS4s? So.
You'd think they should have been able to anticipate.
Yeah, but
what do you think the problem is? Is the number of servers, or like why do these ripples and snags happen?
Oh, I don't know enough about networking to answer that, but there's a lot that can go wrong.
I think it's a combination of lack of server power and lack of bandwidth because of the overload.
Yeah.
Well, just like Marv said, it's like when they have an update on PS3. There's far more people hitting the network.
Yeah.
I don't think it's lack of servers. And Xbox has the same issues. I don't think it's going to be lack of servers as well. Now, it may be bad configuration of the servers or something. Okay. But I don't think it's going to be lack of servers for anybody. And
like when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, people were furious. People were furious at the online.
See, but that one's a little bit different because it's online for their own thing. It's not at the scale of PSN or Xbox Live, right? But
they knew this was going to be a giant blockbuster game.
See, but to them, again, I think it wasn't. I think they had the servers. It was just configuration issues and bugs.
Yeah,
you would think anything that's that humongous of a launch, because the Grand Theft Auto 5 was huge. It's like it set the record. It holds the record.
Yeah, they made more money than I'll make in my life. So,
ain't that the truth?
No, I mean, again, with them, I'm positive with them it was bugs because they have a test environment, right? They might have tested with so many thousand users. But the minute you go into millions of users, things change. Like there's no way to test that.
There's no way to plug all the holes.
That's right. It's just
right. Yeah. Now there was all kinds of stories, in the media. Like I know you follow, gaming news sites and stuff like that. There was a lot of them that were praising it, and there was also some that are saying these are bricked. They got the red line of death, and it's like, and then Sony feels the need to respond. It's like only 0.4%.
Well, the red line's actually not a red line of death. That means take for example, if you have a laptop or your PC, and if it overheats, it's going to shut down before it burns anything. That red line means it overheated and it shut down on its own before something broke.
Well, that's just some vernacular that somebody came up with.
Yeah.
They're calling it the red line of death. Based on that thing where it was in a plastic case with no ventilation.
What a stupid.
I know.
But
I know that's pretty stupid. It's like, yeah, let's put basically a computer
Yeah.
like in a little box with no ventilation. Like, see how long it takes before it fucking burns up.
Put a leprechaun with a lighter in there and let him flame it up and see how long it takes to burn it up.
I mean, it does get hot, no doubt about it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it does. I mean, it doesn't burn your hand hot, but I mean, it gets very warm.
But I mean, I posted some pictures of somebody took with like an infrared camera of some kind on the forum,
I saw those.
and that gets hot. And I can't remember the temperatures, but when I converted them to Celsius, they were like 47 degrees Celsius or something. And computer
Externally.
chips can go up to about 95 before you start to have issues.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, so it's still within the acceptable range.
right. Now, also there was reports that sometimes the HDMI port had some sort of a protrusion and it was causing some problems on some
Yeah,
of them. And it's like, okay, it's simple. You just
Ended down.
mash it
something
down or
like that.
something like that.
That's just poor
I don't
quality control. But from like what I looked at is only 0.02% of the people had issues.
Yeah.
So
Well,
0.02. In manufacturing, anything under 3% is considered good.
right.
know.
So anyway, because it's a big event, it's like
Oh, yeah.
everybody is looking to pounce on anything that's
right.
happening as either plus or minus, and it's going to be the same thing with Xbox.
That's-
There's
yeah,
going to be some
somebody
bricks.
finds a scratch, people will know about it.
Oh yeah,
Right.
the fanboys for each system are gonna.
It's incredible. Like I found so many rumors, and I didn't even report like 90% of the stuff I found in the forum because they weren't good sources, and some things were just so outrageous it wasn't even funny.
Hmm.
Yeah. But
So, what's your favorite sources for video game news?
real facts or rumors?
Well, I guess there's like before something can be reported as a fact, it has to be. It starts as a rumor and it gets verified.
That's right. And some rumors come from so many places that eventually, where there's smoke, there's eventually a fire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the two places I've been looking at that I've been digging stuff is Reddit is one.
Reddit is good. Yeah.
So they have a PS4 and an Xbox One, and so stuff pops up there too. And one of them is NeoGAF.
Right.
That's probably the first one. However, you have to have a heavy filter because I got a feeling there's a shitload of Sony fanboys on that one.
Yeah.
When Xbox came out, it was in their front page and center.
Yeah.
So
Well, they were the ones that broke the story that Call of Duty Ghosts runs at 720.
well,
Upscaled to 1080.
Well, the reason I'm actually not happy about that at all, because I personally think the Xbox could have done it.
Well, I'm sure the hardware. I mean, even a moderate PC, which is what these are, could run 1080, 60 frames a second. It's just there's some code that has not been figured out.
Pushing 1080 at 60 frames a second is pretty hard. And if you look at all the PCs, they have dedicated RAM. These systems don't. They share the RAM with the main memory of the system. So you incur a cost in performance. And if you look at any gaming PC now, they're running DDR5 RAM. Microsoft is not.
Right.
That was mistake number one for Microsoft. Mistake number two is that ESRAM stuff. They only have a 32 meg buffer. Now, if you take an image, if you go in Photoshop, for example, and you make a 1080p, 1920 by 1080 image, and give it 4 layers for red, green, blue, and your alpha, that just squeaks in under 30 megs.
Wow.
So usually when programmers do games, in the background, they have what's called an off-screen buffer, and they just push that to the foreground. And you have to do that really fast, because you can't update every object on what the user sees. And that buffer is just not big enough. and that's what people are complaining about.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure that, these are the initial games that are
That's
coming out. I'm sure that they're going to, going forward, like Forza is running at 60 frames,
Right.
1080.
I got
It's
Forza.
not the machines can't do it. It's the programmers haven't got it right yet.
That's right. And the Forza team had the development kit before the Call of Duty team did, for example. So
Yeah.
they have
Right.
they're a Microsoft studio, right? So
Yeah.
they probably
Right.
got the design part of it, and they probably had it in their hands, or at least beta versions of it, a year in advance before any other studio.
Right. Well, Call of Duty is not going to be a real good indication of the next gen capabilities this year, because you know what, they released it on all the platforms, even the Wii U. I mean,
They ported
it's
it.
like,
They're ports, so ports will never be as good as originals or exclusives.
right.
And you got a team making it, you probably have more than one. You probably have a team dedicated to each platform. But
Well, they also don't want the functionality to be significantly better on the next gen, because then people buying the old gen would feel like they're getting gypped. So they can't, whatever they could add to, okay, so Battlefield has 64 players
Yeah.
on the next gen.
when it works, and as far as I know,
When it works, if it works or whatever. But it seems like that would be kind of like a pisser to the people who are not upgrading and they got it on the old gen. They feel like Battlefield is like they kind of sold them a cheap version of it or something.
Bill of goods.
But you know what? If you look at it from a different perspective, some people can't afford a next-gen console.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people.
If
a lot
I
of people.
couldn't, I would rather give me what you can, and I'll make do with it. And you got to also play within the specs. I mean, the PlayStation 3, I think, only has something like 256 megs of RAM. So you can only do so much.
Yeah. You can only push
Yeah.
that limit so far, and then
And if you look, 7 years ago for the Xbox 360 and the PS3, if you compare the initial launch game graphics or even gameplay compared to the end of the cycle, it's night and day.
It's night and day. It
So,
absolutely is.
Same thing is going to happen this gen. I can't wait to see what's going to be out in 5 years from now.
Right.
Yeah.
Like whatever we're oohing and awing about right now, we're going to be like,
This is
I can't believe I thought that was great, a
That's
couple of years from now.
yeah.
So,
But see, all along, the people with the high-end gaming PCs, the PC, what do they call them? The PC Master Race.
Yeah.
Yeah, the PC Master Race people, and they're fanboys too. Some of them.
Oh yeah, of course.
They're saying like, you and your consoles and your precious 1080. I'm playing 1440, bitches.
Yeah, but the problem is like me as an example, I don't have the coin to buy a high-end gaming system like you need to play these games. The video card alone can run you $500.
Yeah. Well, they're saying you could build, for the price of an Xbox One, you could build a pretty decent gaming PC. You could use AMD and Radeon and,
The drawback with PCs in my book, I don't like to use them because I work on them all day.
Yeah.
So I want to game on them. It's just, the same reason why I'm not biased towards the Xbox. I program for Microsoft using Microsoft tools all day. So last thing I want to do is play with one. However, if you look at the devs like Naughty Dog and, the Forza studio, when they're making those games, they have one hardware to program against. But if you're programming for a PC game, you got to worry about different drivers, different sound, different network speeds, different CPUs, different.
Right, you might have a
ports.
bitch ass PC. You might have a very expensive PC with all the goodies,
Yeah.
and every new game that you download, you're going to have to dick around with your drivers, to get it optimized.
But even the programmers, though, can't optimize for every PC combination.
No. It's
That's
a
the
finite versus an infinite type situation.
That's right. So if, as a programmer, if I had no choice and somebody told me you have to make a game today, I would definitely program for the PS4 or the Xbox. There's no way in hell I would program for a PC.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah. Now, I have just never gotten into PC gaming just because I don't know the feel of joysticks is just comfortable to me. Like working my fingers on a keyboard and a mouse just seems weird.
It is, and again, it's a matter of preference because some people love, WASD on the keyboard and the mouse, and that's the way they live by. I can't stand it.
I mean, I bought Left 4 Dead. I played Left 4 Dead on Xbox, 1 and 2, and I loved it. And I thought, well, let's try it on the PC, and I got it, and I could sort of play it, but it was just like I was awkward. I couldn't move my guy as fluidly without the joysticks. I just like that ASD, combination is just like moving the guy around is like weird.
Yeah, and it's jerky, right? If you press A, you move at a finite speed one way, but if you're using a joystick, it's gradual, right? To me.
Right.
So
now you can counter that. You can get peripheral devices.
Right. Yeah.
Like you can get gaming pads. That has a little thumbstick, and it also has the keys that you need, and you can program anything you want.
Xbox One controller, I think, is going to be compatible with PC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they both are.
But a lot of people that game on PCs mainly for the keyboard and mouse.
Right, because of that.
Right, if you're going to play a shooter
full featured
on a PC with a console controller, you're going to get cleaned up because they can be so quick to aim and so precise with a mouse that if you're playing with a joystick, you're going to get owned, even if you're good.
And there's one guy in our forum that plays Battlefield N2 Rock or whatever his name.
Yeah.
He plays with a special mouse combination on the PS3.
Yeah, they got peripheral devices you can get.
And some people it's wired that way. And I could see aiming with a mouse. If you get used to it, the sensitivity and stuff, I mean, you could probably outshoot somebody with a controller.
Yeah, you probably can. And I think his setup, his rig, he's got one of those gamepad things that has a thumbstick on the left-hand side.
Yep.
So that clunky moving with up, forward, and back, right and left.
Yeah, he doesn't have to deal with that.
He doesn't have to deal with that, right? Yeah. So you get the big benefit is the preciseness and quickness of the mouse. Yeah.
At least that's what I'm getting. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he said in the forum he's waiting on drivers for his stuff for PS4.
Yeah, I'm sure whatever company made his rig, I'm sure they're working on it. It's like, I'm sure that there's going to be SCUF controllers coming out for next gen.
Oh yeah, I mean that's their new market, right? It's untapped right now.
Yeah, there's going to be control freaks. All the gadgets, all the peripheral stuff.
I got my control freaks ordered. I'm waiting for my Xbox Ones though.
Yeah. Well, I hope Shiz said he was able to recycle his. I hope that you can do that. I don't want to spend any time without him. So, are you going to be getting a new headset dedicated for the PS4, or are you going to just use what you have?
No, I'm going to use my Sony headset when they update the firmware.
So am I.
Headset's $100, right?
Yeah, I think we all have the same headset. It's like the basic Sony Pulse 7.1.
Yeah, I don't have the Pulse one. I have the one below.
So do I got the regular one.
Well, whatever. I think all three of us might have the same one.
The regular one. The Pulse.
It's this bad boy right here with a real wide head strap.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yep. And it has the little retractable.
Yep.
Little thingy.
Yep.
I like that.
I like it. It's pretty comfortable, and the sound is quite good, I think.
I mean, for what it does, right?
And it has the little fob, the little USB fob with the Bluetooth.
Yeah. So that's what we have to wait for it to work. I mean, I haven't tried plugging it in. For all I know, it might work, but I don't think so.
Now, the PS4, it has an optical out, right?
Yep.
So you could use, like, Turtle Beaches or Astros or whatever, when it's all updated.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the PS3 had that, too.
Yeah. So. Well, the first Xbox 360s did not have an optical out.
That's right.
Right, and they didn't have HDMI out either, right?
They didn't have HDMI out either. But see, in those days, not that many people even had any kind of HDMI TVs. They're still playing on square TVs.
Yeah. But Xbox came out 1 year before the PS3, right? So Sony
Right.
probably
Right.
had time to readjust and stuff. And
Right. Well, also one of the things is like one of the things that people are slamming the Xbox One is that it's trying to be a living room entertainment system.
that's
Whereas,
what they lost me.
Right. Right. That they well, it remains to be seen how well of a strategy that's going to work in the long run, because we're hardcore gamers and we're all interested in the games. But look at the Wii. The Wii outsold both Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 by a wide margin, and the reason is because they sold it to not hardcore gamers. It's like
But
casual gamers bought
but
it, and it
gamer-
might be the same.
but the thing is, gamers nonetheless, and they had a new innovation that was something different, something cool at the time.
Right.
So Microsoft isn't just selling to just gamers, but
Right, they're gonna be selling-
my DVR.
Right. So it remains to be seen. Who knows, that decision could end up, being bad, but it also could be a decision that works in their favor in the long run.
Maybe a very long run, because if you look at the TV features, for example, it's coming out in the US with the working TV features, and I think in one other country, I can't remember which one. But think of the amount of resources and staff you have to put in to get that stuff running and maintaining it.
Yeah.
Right.
If they
Plus the price is jacked up $100.
Yeah. But if
If they hadn't gone that route, they could have had the same price as Sony.
Well, that's going to keep like you were saying about the casual gamer, that might keep the casual gamer out of the market. The price.
oh, that's true. I never.
That's true. That's true. But you know what? When the last generation came out, the fucking PlayStation was like $600.
But it was hardcore gamers that bought it, though.
Also, people who wanted Blu-ray players. Blu-ray players were new and expensive as fuck.
Yep.
Yeah.
And for a long, long time, if you went on any site that recommended electronics, they said, as of right now, our best recommendation for a Blu-ray player is a Sony PS3.
Yeah.
That's what I was
That
told.
was the case for a long time. I mean,
And it's still
Yeah.
one of the faster ones, too. Mainly because they
Yeah.
can update it when they want. Easier than some of the other
Yeah.
ones.
so Sony initially did the exact same thing last generation that Microsoft is doing this thing. It's like, okay, we're a gaming machine, but we also are a living room entertainment thing. We've got a Blu-ray player.
But if you look at the number of units sold, that also hurt Sony as well with the high price and stuff.
Right.
And Microsoft definitely got the lead. So this time Sony did it backwards and said, okay, let's listen to the gamers first and we'll go from there. Where Microsoft did it the way Sony did it last time.
Yeah.
Right.
So
So, the PlayStation 2, when it came out, the big deal was it's a DVD player. And at that time, not very many people had DVD machines.
Yeah.
It was a big seller. That's like one of the reasons why the PlayStation 3 is I think it's the most popular, PlayStation 2,
yeah, it's the popular
Was-
one in that gen.
the most units sold of any game system in history.
There's still a lot of people playing on the PS2.
I think just this year they made the very last new game that came out for the PS2.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They're
Interesting.
still making them up to this year
Wow.
because there's so many people who've had them over the years.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't remember the numbers, but I think the Wii never did
Yeah.
touch it.
But going back to the Xbox, I mean, I have a DVR, I have a Western Digital Live box to watch Netflix and stuff.
So do I. That's what I have too.
It's, I don't know.
One of
And-
those little media server thing that's
Right,
just got
a streaming box
and
or a
then-
Roku or
right,
something.
and you hang an external drive off of it for if you want videos. And,
They did that big thing for the fantasy football or whatever it is, and that's good, but for people in the U.S., that's not going to benefit anybody else.
Right. Well, I'm in the U.S. and I don't have any desire to play fantasy football.
me neither.
All those resources, if they would have put that back into gaming, it would be one hell of a gamer's box.
Yeah.
So I think personally that's their mistake.
They're,
Right.
they're trying to be
Well,
everything to everyone.
I really don't think that anybody should count out Microsoft.
Oh, I'm
It's
not.
like
I'm not
they
because
they
have so
came out of the gate slow. I mean, they're coming out of the gate slow. Everybody is aware of that.
Yep.
They took a beating in the E3 announcement, and they've been playing catch up this whole time, and they're still behind.
No, but I mean, even look at the 360, right, with that red ring of death thing. They have
Yeah.
so much money in their pocket that they could overcome almost anything if they want to. You know, my biggest concern with the Xbox right now would be the new CEO of Microsoft.
Yeah.
Is they're looking for a new CEO, and the one guy that's up in the running wants to get rid of the Xbox division.
They're good.
Now,
What happens then, right?
yeah.
That's a mistake.
Yeah.
Well, is it a mistake?
Well, I guess maybe not, because the thing is, you got to understand is like when they sell consoles, when they first start out, they're losing money on every console.
No, but it's not just that. Even the current Xbox is losing money.
Yeah.
If you look at their earnings, okay, they had, I can't remember the exact number, but the gaming division, or whatever division it's in, made like 2 point something billion dollars or something. But 2 billion of that came in from Android market, not from Xbox.
Oh.
So if you're one of the big CEOs whose concern is, I want my money and I want my stocks to go up, what do you push for? You know, get rid of the dead weight that's not really making us any money.
Right.
So
Well, how is the profitability for the Sony, the gaming division of Sony?
Sony's-
Sony is a huge multinational corporation too.
Sony's in trouble right now. Yeah, they're not, you know, the last quarter they lost money as well. Microsoft made money. If you look at their whole, you know,
The whole
business,
picture,
Microsoft
yeah.
made money.
Now, Sony makes their money in a couple of different major ways. Sony is a hardware maker. They make televisions and devices and stereos and all that kind of stuff,
Tons of stuff.
as well as game machines.
Yeah.
But they also like make movies. They
Mhm.
produce motion pictures and they produce music.
So they're big
Yeah.
on that side. I think
So they're
music-
content creators.
Yeah. I think from the content creator side of things, I think they're making money. I think on the electronic side of things, I think that's where they lost money.
Yeah.
How much they lost and stuff, I don't know. All I know is that overall, in their last quarter, they lost, like, they were in the millions, if not billions. So,
Yeah.
so
Well, okay, so it's like, what do you think of the future of the two systems going forward? I mean, do you see them as like long and illustrious futures, or do you think it's like,
loaded question.
Yeah, it is.
Personally, I think both council will survive. They're not going to fail. And I hope none fail for sure, because if one of them fails, the other one is going to be lax. So if there's good competition, everybody benefits.
right?
And I'm not-
If either one of them fails, it's going to fuck the other one up.
That's right.
Yeah.
So if they both do great content, if one does great content, the other one has to match or do better. Competition. So as long as they can both compete, gamers will benefit. I don't care how, they will. Will next gen be better than this gen? I think so.
Will there be a next gen
Now, after
this?
You know what? I don't know. Like, for example, if you look at Japan, which is normally a pretty good indication, councils are doing horrible now because everybody's going tablet.
Yeah, they're going
Yeah.
mobile. They're playing on their
Yeah.
phones. They're playing on their tablet.
That's right.
And they're even talking.
They're
They're even,
increasing in power far faster than councils are.
Right.
Yeah.
So what about
Thanks.
things like the Steam box and the Ouya and like these other kind of ideas?
Oh, that's not going to do it.
no, that's trinkets.
Ouya's garbage. Steambox has potential, but I was reading an article where the Steambox itself is pretty locked in terms of the software. So you won't be able to install any Linux programs and stuff on it. It's going to be made to run with that, and that's it.
Can you root it?
I don't think so.
Damn.
You could download it and install it on your own PC, from what I read, but you can't add programs to it. You know? So, and I'm not even going to talk about that controller.
I had heard that one of the
Oh,
things-
that weird thing with the two little round
Yeah.
It
pads.
sounds interesting, and it may be, you know, the best next thing, but I just can't wrap my head around it yet.
Well, it is cool that they decided to completely redesign like what we know as a controller.
Yep. And, you know, that's competition, right? if something comes out with that and people like it, Microsoft will have to match, Sony will have to match, or counter in some other way. And that's,
One of those companies I heard is experimenting with putting everything in the TV, the gaming function, DVR, everything into the TV.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I mean, that's the way things go, right? People are trying to cram more stuff into one box.
Right. Now, even very inexpensive TVs, have Ethernet ports, and they have all these apps and all this stuff. And that used to be that didn't exist.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
the TV was the TV. It had inputs. You could play, video games or whatever. But now they got Hulu and.
Just the other day, I was setting up a new LED TV at a friend's house because they're an older couple and stuff, and they're not into the techie side of things. And it was a smart LG TV, and you set it up like you do with a Wii. So you point and you move an arrow on the screen, and
wow!
So it's completely different. And there's been rumors of an Apple TV for years now.
Right.
Sooner or later, you're going to have, I'm sure, an Apple TV with the Apple, that little box inside it where you could play all the iOS apps somehow.
Yeah, I could see that.
Oh yeah, so can I. Will it be fun for gaming? Doubt it. I can't stand gaming on a touchscreen. It drives me nuts.
Me too. My tablet. I don't like gaming on my tablet.
Yeah, I can play an RPG on a tablet because that's finger tapping.
Yeah.
If you play something like Call of Duty where you have to turn and aim differently, and and your fingers are sliding all over the place, it just doesn't.
Well, they're not meant to be very precise. You just can't get. It just doesn't work very. I tried a first-person shooter. Some company had a first-person shooter demo on my smartphone, and it's just like, this is clunky and bizarre. It's not fun.
Yeah, it's not meant for that. I use my iPad all the time, but to watch YouTube, look at forums, that kind of thing. Do a little bit of research. But I have games on them. Do I use it? No. It's not. Yeah. Doesn't work well.
I've got Dead Space for my tablet, and I just hate it. I can't play it. But I bought one of those universal controllers for my tablet. I got it from GameStop, so I can set that up to use the controller.
Okay.
So that's
how do you like that?
That's nice. That's a nice feature. And the controller was only like $30, I think, at the time. I think they're more now, but you just got to set it up. You have to, if it's for every game, you have to set it up.
Which kind of pad do you have?
I've got a Asus TFT.
Cool. My sister just got a new Google Nexus 7, and we were looking at it last night. It's sort of cool.
Yeah.
It's little for as far as pads go. It's pretty small. It's kind of like a little bit bigger than like one of those jumbo cell phones, which I now have. I just got this a few days ago. This is the Galaxy Note 3.
This is the Galaxy S4.
This is replacing. Oops.
Calling somebody?
This is replacing my old cell phone.
Wow! Look at that. My
it's
God.
Like, this is the Evo. This was the biggest cell phone you could get back in 2010.
Man, you made it a long ways on that phone. You made it.
I know. I had it for 3 years.
Almost 4 years.
Well, I got it the day before Thanksgiving in 2010, which now is
3 years.
Almost exactly 3 years.
Okay.
So, I just like I can't figure out how some stuff works because HTC had a certain logic and a certain way of doing things, and Samsung has their own complete interface.
Yep.
It's like it's annoying as fuck.
That's what I like about Apple. The interface is constant across phones, tablets, and stuff.
Yeah. That's a real benefit.
Mind you, you're also locked into their monopoly, shall we say?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then again, you don't have to worry about making things work because the shit works right. It works right out of the box.
Yeah, and I've never had to deal with malware or anything like that either. So they're really good at screening apps and stuff.
So I was seeing some ads for the Microsoft Surface. Is that like dead?
No, because they're just releasing another one.
Yeah, it's an actual laptop that you can like fold over and turn into a tablet.
Well, I think it actually just is a tablet. The thing that you fold on is just a keyboard. That's like a rubber mat or something.
Yeah.
I don't think that's ever going to take.
So you don't think the Surface is gonna ever be a thing?
No.
It's like the Windows Phone never became a thing.
That's right. I think they're stuck.
Well, the Windows Phone is so prone to viruses that...
If you take the Xbox out of the picture, Microsoft has never been good at making hardware.
No.
You know, they make a good mouse. They make a good keyboard.
I was going to say, maybe
that's
these things, but that's it.
But if you look at the, what was it, Zune and their players, and, things have always failed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Speaking of things that have failed, it's like it seems like it happened this last week. YouTube made a major change. You can't leave comments on a YouTube video unless you're
Google
signed
Plus.
up with Google Plus. Google Plus.
that's
they're trying
what
to force
that
you.
is.
Yeah.
So everywhere I look at comments, I see this Bob the Tank.
This is Bob.
Yeah.
Copy and paste him.
So, okay, I was trying
That's
to...
a that's a protest.
How is that? So you need
Yeah.
Google Plus to post
Yep.
on.
You cannot leave a comment, it's like even if it's your own video,
Wow.
unless you're
To be
signed
like
in to
Google
Google Plus.
Plus.
You have to have a Google Plus account and you have to be signed in. So do you think Google Plus is ever going to go anywhere?
I don't know. It's Google, so they have, again, all the money in the world. So,
But I mean, people aren't
I
going to
don't.
like leave Facebook for. It's like Facebook is already there. It's not like we need another Facebook.
yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. There's something else for people to go to. So they'll just lose thing. The problem is there's nothing like YouTube. If there was something else like it, people would jump ship. But there isn't.
I would.
I would.
I would let. Why isn't there something like YouTube?
Do you have any idea the amount of resources you need to run something like YouTube?
Oh, man.
That probably
Sure.
makes Microsoft's Xbox Live server farms look like friggin'...
I was going to say, you're looking at a server farm that's like huge.
Oh yeah, where was I reading that? I read an article, and Facebook was one of the top 5 websites for using the most power in terms of their server capacity.
Well, look how many people are on Facebook.
Yeah, and I think Google, that includes search and everything else, I think Google was number 1 or number 2.
Wow.
I can't remember where.
Well, Google
was it?
Google is one of the biggest companies that there is. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
they're giant.
No, but if you look at the search, YouTube, I mean, imagine how much power you need to run that stuff. The servers.
I saw the stats one time. It's like how many videos are uploaded to YouTube every day, and it's like, and how many videos are viewed every day on YouTube, and it's just like this gigantic, mind-blowing number.
No, it's just insane, because if you take into account, I mean, you have to worry about security, you have to worry about backing up. So the video is just not on one computer, right? So they have it spanned across multiple computers, and it's just, and the videos now, I mean, as you know, they're not small.
No.
Right, absolutely. Like when this video gets posted, it's probably going to be like a 1.5, 2 gig upload.
Exactly. So if hundreds of these are getting uploaded a day,
Hundreds?
It got big really quick. YouTube did, though. I mean, they really.
Yeah.
But the thing is about YouTube is, as they grew, they seemed to be able to provide the back office for this stuff so that it works right.
Yeah, I mean, they have the way Google is designed. They have a special operating system they've designed, and it's what's the word I'm looking for? It can expand very easily. It's designed that way. So when they add, 100,000 computers, it just merges in seamlessly, and that's sort of part of the cloud, right? That's the
Yeah.
Well, YouTube wasn't started by Google. Google bought YouTube. Somebody else
Right.
started it.
But they backed it in right away into their own architecture, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
it's just, you have to.
It'd just be a given. I mean, it would.
Yeah. So, but the Google
Yeah.
infrastructure is running what people call a cloud these days. So.
Yeah.
Well, this whole cloud thing is like it's a buzzword that
It is.
I don't even have any idea what the hell what does that mean to us.
Well, I'll try to put some things to rest if I can. Think of as a cloud as a bunch of servers, okay, that work together in harmony.
Right. You can already save stuff to the cloud.
Well, you can save. Think of a cloud as a dedicated server. It's the
As an
exact
X,
same thing, okay? Except you could add servers quickly because the configuration issues, you usually don't have to worry about it so much. I mean, if you look at Sub 1 Gaming, that's running on a cloud. So
Yeah.
what that does is that right now, the site's not the fastest site in the world because cloud servers are not the fastest computers in the world by design. But if all of a sudden Sub 1 gets 1 million hits, right? In about
Right.
5 minutes, Sub 1 will replicate to other servers and be able to handle the load, theoretically. It's the same thing with Microsoft's cloud.
Well, if we get you to strip, I guarantee and put a video up, Sub 1 will get 1 million hits.
Well, I just think of a cloud as a.
Can we get a little twerking?
But the cloud is just like a server, a dedicated
It's like
server.
it's
no
like
different.
it's like a storage space you can access from any of your devices.
Well, it's
But
not
see,
just
they're talking about it as
within
more
reason.
than just a storage space. I mean, as a storage space, that makes sense to me. I can understand what they're talking about, but
But if you look at it from a processing perspective, let's say, right? So if
there's
you look
supposed to be other stuff that it entails,
Yeah,
or
so
the
if
other
you-
potentials.
If you look at Forza, for example, that the ghost tracks or whatever they call them,
right?
Yeah.
they send coordinates up to the cloud, and what the cloud does, it says, okay, find me a computer somewhere that can compute this right now, and the computer computes it and returns the results.
Okay.
If you had to do that in a dedicated environment, it's a little bit more complicated. Because the cloud knows, it expands as needed, basically. But that
So it's going to become more important going forward, right?
Yeah.
It's like, is this as good as the cloud's going to get, or is there some
no.
magic? Because they're talking about it like as a future, jaw-dropping, amazing thing.
It's not. It's like a dedicated server. There's not much different other than scalability. Scalability is where it's at with the cloud. That's
Yeah.
what it. And
If I need it, I can get it.
That's right. And they have APIs in place for the programmers to latch onto to compute stuff or like web services, for example. That's part of the cloud. But one thing that Microsoft said that will not happen is the cloud will not do graphics for the
It will not do graphics processing.
I mean, think about it, just logically. If the
How
cloud-
long would it take for it to go, process, come back,
That's right.
for you to see it?
That's right. I mean,
Yeah.
You'd be
one
done with the
example,
race.
Somebody said it was going to compute shadows. Okay, well, if I'm going to compute shadows, first the Xbox has to upload all the coordinates of everything in the 3D environment to the server for it to process and return it back. There's so much latency there, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
But then, like reading an article about Titanfall, now the developer for Titanfall was saying it's like only because of Microsoft's cloud could we do this or something. And I don't know what did he mean by that.
That's bull. I mean, anybody can make a cloud. Amazon has a cloud.
I got a cloud.
Microsoft probably took their cloud, or part of it, and made it more gaming centric, where to reduce latency and things like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
for example,
We still don't have fucking dedicated servers on Call of Duty yet.
No,
Yeah.
we don't.
We were promised dedicated
It's
servers
still
Yeah.
P2P.
on all platforms, and
See,
we don't have it yet. We're still peer to peer. I'm getting host migrations. God damn it!
So am I.
I don't know if you noticed with the saw the news article. There was a Microsoft guy that came out and said that the cloud has to be rebooted frequently. So what happens if you're gaming and it reboots?
Ooh.
You know, it's funny, Marv, whenever a Canadian says reboot.
Oh, reboots. So, you know,
Sorry.
will the cloud improve things? I think it will for the user. And I mean, Sony's had the cloud too for a long time. I mean, all their cloud saving on PSN and stuff. They just don't do the cloud processing that Microsoft is going to do. Or not do it yet. They're working on it.
Well, they bought the Gaikai cloud.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is, but it sounds like it's a
Think of it as remote play.
ambitious. It's an ambitious investment in the future, right?
Not. It's like remote play. That's what it is. So with Gaikai, you're going to stream a game from their servers, and it's going to work with lag, because there's going to be lag, but it's not like what Microsoft said about computing shadows and stuff. Because with Gaikai, all you're sending back is button inputs. So you're getting a video feed, and you're uploading button inputs. That's all it is.
So it'd be good for maybe a platform game or something like that, or a RPG.
Yeah, I can't see playing Call of Duty over Gaikai. No way in hell. Not going to happen. I mean, you have to be realistic. Now, if everybody in North America gets fiber, then maybe. Until that happens, no. I mean, you have to be realistic, right?
Are you going to get fiber anytime soon, Marv?
Looking into it right now.
We're
Really?
We're this close to having it in our neighborhood.
But you know what? I'm not looking at fiber in the way you guys would look at it. Right now, my internet is 10 down, I think 30 up. 100 down, 30 up.
Fuck.
Okay.
Why would you need an improvement over that?
Wow. If you look at my satellite costs and my phone costs.
Oh, sure.
I'm looking at about $200 a month, maybe a little bit more. Bell Canada just has fiber op, what they call it. It's 50 down, so I would be losing speed, and 20 up. But it also includes my satellite video on demand and stuff.
Do you have any idea how good that is still? That's still awesome.
Oh, I'm not complaining at all. That's why I don't mind going down to 50. The upside, too, to the 50, they've finally done it again, unlimited download. Right now, I have 500 gigabytes, but I also have a $40 or $60 DSL connection that I keep, even though it's only 7 down, but it's unlimited. So for downloading movies and stuff, it comes in handy.
Yeah. Now those really fast down and up speeds, like the up speed, would be awesome. Like it comes time to upload this to YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, this is like hit the button and go do something. You're not going to sit there hovering over it while it does it, because it takes a long fucking time.
Yeah. Right now with my connection, when I update the websites that I manage, a 300 meg database file takes about 7 minutes to upload or something like that. So I'm not complaining.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of our Sub 1 members wish to hell they had your internet.
Yeah. Because mine only pushes 50 down.
To be honest, though, when I went, like my other one was 7 down, and I think like 250K up.
Wow.
And when I was playing, I played for the longest time Call of Duty on the PS3. And when I switched, it didn't make much of a difference in terms of my KD or anything. Now, if somebody decided to watch Netflix at the same time, I was screwed. But
you certainly are not going to stream on Twitch.
No.
The other thing I noticed, I got a new cable modem from Comcast that had a router included in it, and I had them bridge that. But what I noticed is when I used their router, I was getting 60 down and 25 up, and when I went to my own router, I went from 50 down to like 15 up. So there's something to their router that is unique, that works very well with their hardware, and obviously it would. It's
Yeah.
it's
I mean, it
integrated.
could be, but when you
No, you're using
also
you're using your own router because it has some sort of gaming prioritizing kind of thing.
Yeah, it has QoS.
Yeah. Yeah.
This has got to be the most technically oriented bulletproof underwear we've done.
Yeah. Sorry, if you need a translator, call Marv or Flex.
So if you tuned into bulletproof underwear looking for dick jokes and stuff like usual,
We got serious on this one. We dug into the PS4.
yeah. Well, see, that's what happens when we get an engineering, kind of a dude like Marv. He's like a technological titan.
See, that's the thing with me. I could talk about tech all day. If you ask me to talk about anything else, can't help you.
So you don't know what Miley Cyrus is up to,
No, but I did hear somewhere, I think in a headline, that she was offered $1 million to produce a porn video or something.
That's true.
Oh, really?
That's true.
Wings of Redemption was offered $5,000 to do a porno.
Yeah.
You know who that is?
No.
Oh, he's a YouTube Call of Duty guy, and he's about
Which name?
400. Wings of Redemption,
Okay, no, I don't know him.
and he weighs like 430, 450.
Ooh. Yeah, that wouldn't be a pretty one.
No,
He's thinking about it.
That's funny.
that's cool.
No.
I'll skip that one.
Yeah.
Well, they gave John Wayne Bobbitt. He did a porno.
Frank and Bobbitt.
Yeah. So everybody wants to see how well does a reattached,
Unit work.
The only one I heard of, I haven't seen it. It was my wife told me about it. Was that Stallone did one way back?
Stallone did one?
Yeah,
Yeah, a long time ago.
way back.
Wow.
So like even before Rambo back kind of thing.
Yup, back in the day when he was trying to make
Say
it.
hello to my little friend. No. Well, let's see. The Octomom. I think she did a porno or they're talking about having her do a porno?
No, she did one, I think.
I don't know, no idea. That's the one that
I mean,
had all the babies and stuff, right?
Right.
Right.
I have not gone so far out of my way to go searching for that.
Don't quite have the time on the clock for that one.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Anything else interesting in the news these days?
No, not much.
I think we
The
covered
only
it.
thing I can think of is the Xbox for you guys next week.
Yep.
The Xbox is coming out next week, so we have to get a panel together just like we're doing today and talk about Xbox. So we'll have to get some Xbox tech kind of guy.
Yeah, I don't.
Who would be good?
Who's on? I mean, Pony. Sure.
Pony would
Yeah,
be.
they would.
Ponemeister would be a good one, but I don't know if he's keeping his Xbox or flipping it.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
Oh, I know he's flipping his PS4s. I believe
Yeah,
Well, how many did he buy?
he bought 3 PS4s. I think
three or four.
3 or 4.
Yeah, he's a wheeler dealer. He's planning on. He did that with the Wii's too.
See, I mean, you could probably talk to Mango a little bit, but now I think he's turned to the dark side, so which I find kind of weird.
Well, it sounds like he has. It sounds like he was like a sort of a rabid
Microsoft
Xbox
fanboy.
fanboy,
What
but now
happened?
he's done a complete turnaround.
I think that was because of the 720p thing, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he did say he was very interested in remote play stuff. I think
Yeah.
that's what sold him and his boys.
He already
And
has
I still can't believe what that's like. It takes like 15 seconds to establish the connection, and then there's no freaking lag.
Huh.
I mean, in my house.
That's cool. Well, we might have to look into getting one of those Vitas.
Yep.
But again, if you have your TV and you have access to it all the time, why?
Yeah. Yeah, I play on my monitor,
Yeah.
so it's like my wife is watching TV right now,
Yeah.
so I don't got to worry about that.
See,
And that's what?
When you're done with that, you should call Julie.
Okay.
but it's like, for example, if your wife had to use your computer for your monitor, and then you say, "Oh, I got to finish this game," you could switch to your Vita, right?
Yeah.
It's
That might
handy
be kind of
that way.
cool.
But if you don't have to do that, then there's no need.
Well, I probably wouldn't be motivated to get one unless there was actually some games that were just fun to play on the Vita itself, just to play.
Right now the Vita's lacking.
Yeah,
Right.
I tried a few when I had mine. I tried a first person shooter, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
Controls are different. Like remember, you don't have an R2 and L2 and an R3 and R2. So for that, you have to use the rear touch screen or the front touch screen. So it's awkward to hold a little bit and stuff. So you're not as quick.
Yeah. Have you ever picked up and messed around with a Wii U controller where it has a TV screen in the middle of it?
I've seen one.
I've never used one live, but I've seen it at the store, and it does have this contoured back on it, and the control sticks and the buttons on either side of a fairly good sized screen.
Yeah, the Wii U's bigger though. The gamepad is bigger than the Vita.
Yeah.
So, but the resolution on the gamepad sucks. It's like
I heard that the Wii U is sucking air. It is not.
Oh no, it's digger and
They've missed targets, and it's like so far it's a big giant fail.
it's digging a hole like a gold miner, man.
it's not doing good at all. And it's fun.
technically
Some of the first games, like that zombie game, kind of looked cool. But other than that, I haven't seen. I don't even think they released a Zelda for it yet, which was their mistake.
Yeah.
I mean, if they manage to produce a good Zelda, I'll buy a system for it. But
Did you hear that the I can't pronounce his name, but the Japanese guy who created Mario and Zelda and all that, was it
Mashimoto or something like that?
Mashimoto, something Moto,
Yeah.
Miyamoto or whatever it is? That guy's retiring.
There goes Nintendo.
Yeah, really. He's the brains.
Well, I mean, he says like he's been working for Nintendo for 45 years or whatever it is. It's like, and he finally decided he wants to retire, and who could blame him? I mean,
yeah, of course, yep.
It's like, what else has he got to prove? He's probably rich beyond anything he needs.
It's one thing
And,
Nintendo's not lacking is money. They have a shitload of money. See, they've never taken the hits that the other guys did selling consoles. Even the Wii.
Right. They insisted that not only do they not lose money, they insist they have to make a profit on every one from day one.
Yep. And you know what? From a business perspective, that makes complete sense.
Well, yeah. I mean, it seems like madness to come up with a business model that's like, oh well, we're going to lose this much money on every single unit we sell, and we hope to sell a lot.
No, and it's like Sony and Microsoft, right? They lose a little bit, and they hope to make it back in licenses from games.
Yeah.
But they probably never make money from the guys who play Call of Duty, because there's some guys that's all they play.
Right. Same with a couple of other franchises like Madden Football.
That's right.
And
Battlefield.
And FIFA.
So they're probably hoping
and maybe
people are at least going to buy like 6-7 games minimum.
Right.
Some people don't. So
right. There's a class of gamer who they only buy like a game, and they buy the machine to buy a game, like Forza, or
That's right.
or Madden Football or something. The guy has. I have every Madden Football going back to 19 whatever. What other games do you have? Just the Madden.
Yeah.
no, you wonder like that with the NHL or Gran Turismo, and you play what you like, right? No spending if you don't like it.
Well, I'm kind of like that. I'm mostly my Call of Duty, but I've bought.
But you
plenty
do
of
experiment
games.
in other stuff.
Yeah, if you look at my fucking game stack, it's like much of my money has gone to many developers.
So is mine.
You don't even want to go there with mine.
So do you have a stack of shame? Like these are games that you have never even played?
I'll be right back. Yes.
I'm going to guess that the answer to that question is yes.
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah. Well, I have a stack of shame.
I got a few games in my stack of shame.
This would be my current stack.
Oh wow.
That's your stack of shame?
Yeah.
These are games that you bought with good hard money,
That's right.
but you just have never got around to playing.
Oh wow, some of them I did play, but then a new game comes out and I start that one, forget about this one, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I do that a lot.
That's why I started that thread saying I'm going to buckle down next gen and, you know.
Try to just buy games that you actually will play. Be honest with yourself.
I will play these eventually. I mean, the thing is, my main genre is RPGs, right?
Like, what's your favorite of all time? Or top couple?
I'd probably say Final Fantasy VII would probably be my favorite on the PlayStation 1. But that's my genre, right? And what happens is with RPGs, they don't get published like Call of Duty. So some of them are quite rare and hard to find.
Yeah.
And so if you look and try to find Suikoden 1, I think it's called, or I can't even pronounce it. Suikoden 1, published by Konami. If you go find it on eBay, it's like $300, and you can't buy it anywhere else.
Yeah.
So some of these you kind of have to buy right away, otherwise you can't find it.
Siren's that way, I think. That.
So you're buying these for your retirement.
Yeah. So
you're stashing them away for the future.
Yep. Yeah.
I gotcha.
I mean, I do play them, and once in a while, like right now, I'm into Call of Duty. I'm going to give Battlefield 4 a try. But you know, like for example, I think Shiz posted he had 700 hours in Call of Duty. I mean, in Battlefield.
Right. That's a lot.
There is no way in hell I will ever put that many hours in any one game, ever.
Me neither. I just can't.
I need something new, and to refresh and stuff. You know?
Variety, baby, spice of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some RPGs, you know, when they start spanning up to about 60 hours, they start to lose my attention a little bit, and that's what happens with some of these. If the story's not good, then it takes a backseat to something else.
Yeah.
Will I ever get to it? Maybe not. But I ended up paying off my PS4 with just used games. Oh, and just to be clear, a lot of these aren't bought brand new. So sometimes I'll just cruise the used.
Right, I've got
bargain bin.
There's stuff in my stack of shame that I bought secondhand.
Yeah.
Like I bought BioShock for $10 cheaper, like a couple of weeks after it came out, and I still haven't even put it in the machine. BioShock, everybody's saying it's one of the greatest games of the whole generation, and I haven't even tried it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I didn't get that one, but some I'll get because people talk and stuff, which I'm going to stop doing. And
yeah, me too.
Did you get Grand Theft Auto 5?
Yes, then that one was quite good and stuff. And I actually finished it.
You finished it?
You did?
Yeah, I didn't finish part 3 and 4. Yeah, the story was actually pretty good. So I'm
gonna have to revisit that.
Can you believe they're not putting that out on next gen?
I heard they were. One of the things in NeoGAF, for example, they released an XML file that was found on the disk, and they had code names in there for the PlayStation 4 and a PC version. So I'm assuming it's coming. But they just don't want to say it because then they're going to lose sales now.
Okay.
But
it would seem like madness. Like, when's the last time a Grand Theft Auto game came out? It's been like 4 or 5 years or something.
Yeah.
And when they finally do bring it out right on the cusp of a new generation and not include the next gen, that would be madness.
I think they'll announce later on they're going to do next gen.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. You know.
Yeah, and it's going to be big if they do.
Yeah, maybe they didn't get the dev kits early enough to be able to release them at the same time and stuff, right?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time will tell on that one. But no,
so when
people should play that game. There's a character called Trevor in that game that is bloody hilarious. Like,
you know, he looks a little bit like.
Who's that?
I'm looking at you.
Well, it's funny because you play between 3 different characters, and when you hop back to Trevor, sometimes he'll be waking up wearing a pink dress, and he won't know why.
He's like the madman, the maniac.
Oh, he's brutal. Or he'll wake up on the train track with a train coming at him. So it's funny.
That's
But no,
awesome.
yeah, it's definitely a game worth checking out, and the story takes about 20 hours or so to do.
Well, I saw one review that said this is the best video game that has ever been made.
No, last
No.
I mean,
if I had to put value, you asked before about one of my favorite games. I'd say probably Last of Us is up there too.
Yeah.
Story-wise, that game was amazing, and the gameplay wasn't too bad either.
I still got to finish the story.
What? No,
I do. I have
you
to finish.
doing?
I never finished it. I got all that kidney stone crap happened, and
Right.
right. Well, you know what? It's like after it became rare and you couldn't buy it in the stores, it's like I regretted that I didn't order it.
I had to buy it on
But-
PSN because I couldn't find it anywhere.
But then I ran across. We were at Fry's Electronics, and I saw that they had it, and I like grabbed it and I put it in my shopping cart, and like I walked around and I thought, you know what? Until I play BioShock Infinite, I shouldn't get this.
yeah.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you watch Walking Dead?
Oh yeah, it's fucking amazing.
Okay, then you would like this game.
Oh, I've seen some YouTube video of it. It looks amazing.
Yeah. Well, not just about looks, but the way they.
Well, it looks like it's
you
the
get a connection
grim,
with the
gritty
characters.
kind of. Oh Jesus Christ! I got to pop up. Oh,
You get a connection with the characters and stuff that is
Yeah.
really. And they've just announced that they're doing another story DLC, not just multiplayer stuff.
yeah, I heard it's going to be a prequel.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
With Ellie and Marlene, I think she was called or something.
Yeah.
Now, see, the girl in that looks and sounds to me just a little bit like Ellen Page.
I know, eh? And it's not modeled after her, but that's what everybody says.
Are you sure it's not modeled after her?
No, the one that's modeled after her is Beyond Two Souls.
Right, I've seen some gameplay of that, and it looks pretty interesting. Are you interested in that game?
No,
I'm
I
not.
think-
Really?
I pre-ordered it and then I canceled it.
that's just like the other one they did when the PlayStation 3 first launched. Can't think of the name right now, and I couldn't get into it. Heavy Rain.
Heavy Rain, yeah.
I couldn't get into it.
It was kind of boring.
It was
Yeah.
very highly acclaimed. A lot of people,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
were saying it was really good.
multiple endings and you name it. But the story didn't grab. If something doesn't grab my attention in like the first 6 hours,
Forget it.
I'm gone.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. Well, when we get done with this show, what are you headed off next to?
grocery
What
shopping.
are you going to be doing? Grocery shopping. Okay, I'm talking about when you hit the PS4.
I don't know. It usually I go by my friends list. So if a bunch of people are in Call of Duty, I'll join up with that. Or I'll maybe Battlefield 4. If not, I'll do the Killzone thing.
Yeah, let's try Killzone tonight.
Yeah, if you're on, I'll try the multiplayer thing.
All right.
I was reading
All right.
just some comments today, and people are liking it and stuff.
Yeah. I played a little bit of the campaign. It's really, really impressive.
You don't
Now I saw some reviews from the game, and the critics were not super generous of it, and I think there's a reason. It's the same reason the critics are not kind to COD a lot of times. It's because it's sort of the same.
Yep.
It's like, well, Killzone is a first-person shooter. It's like it's a bloodbath.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well,
okay,
There's more than one reason too. I mean, if you look at Call of Duty, because they use it in MLG and stuff, you can't change it a whole lot. Otherwise, you alienate everybody, right?
right.
Right.
With Killzone, it's always going to be compared to Battlefield or Call of Duty. You know what I mean? And
Right.
no matter which way you slice it, those are big guns. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Sure, I mean, Killzone's graphics are way better than Call of Duty's, no doubt about it. However, a game's not about graphics. If
It's about the gameplay
That's right.
for the most part. Yeah.
exactly. So,
Well,
you know,
I don't know. There's people who love the shit out of Killzone,
oh,
but
But-
the critics are not going to be kind to it for the same reason they're not kind to COD, because even though it's a great game
it's still
that players love, it's just the same thing rehashed. And also, I don't think the critics are usually that kind of mad in football because I mean,
No,
it's
they're
like
not.
there's barely any changes happen. It's like, but the players wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, you're going to completely overhaul this game that they love.
That's right. The only way to go about doing that is coming out with something new like Titanfall. You got to
Yeah.
make it so different, but yet somehow engage the same audience.
Right. I have a feeling that that when Titanfall hits, it's going to suck all the oxygen out of the room. It's like nobody's going to care about Call of Duty anymore.
There's a cycle, right? I think Toby had posted a picture. You know,
Yeah, I've
first
seen that
comes out,
picture.
it's the best one. 3 months later, oh, finally we got the map packs. You know, 6 months later, it's, oh, the previous Call of Duty was better. And then, oh, you know, the anticipation for the next one, right? So it's come,
Right.
and Titanfall is coming out roughly about 6 months after the release of this one.
Yeah, right in a period where they have COD fatigue.
That's right.
Yep.
So everybody's going to rush and buy it. And if anything,
So do you think it's going to sell a lot of consoles?
You know, I don't know.
if
I'd be surprised if it doesn't sell quite a few.
it's a console seller, I have no doubt about that. If they manage to remove Kinect at the same time, Microsoft would sell like so many. It's not.
But they are not going to do that.
They have to. They should.
You actually think that they're going to?
Well, they Nelson or whatever said they don't because they think it's part of the ecosystem. But if it sells more consoles and it gives them more money,
He'll do it.
It doesn't sound like they're gonna take it off. It sounds like they're
well, they're not
committed
going to
to
say it now. Otherwise,
No.
everybody's going to say, "I want to wait."
No.
Yeah.
Right.
You wait till after the Expo one comes out, they'll announce they're going to do a connectless one.
Yeah, that's the kind of announcement that they're going to do at E3 or something too,
Yeah.
right? So it's not something they're just going to do on a whim.
Right.
And plus, the other thing too, I'm sure through the game reporting and stuff, they can tell how many people is actually using Kinect. And if they see a large portion of their user base not using it, then they're going to be like, wow, you know, let's make it an accessory and get more users.
Yeah.
Well, when Titanfall comes out, it's also going to be on 360, and you have a 360.
That's true, but will I want to play something last
Old
gen?
gen.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
and you know what? I may. You know, if enough people play. Actually, no, I won't, because I'm letting my Xbox Live thing lapse.
Okay. Well, you never know. You might change your mind, but the option is there. If you want Titanfall, you can play it without buying anything except
And like I said,
Live.
I have nothing against the Xbox One. And if there's more than a few exclusive that pique my interest, you know, I will buy it. But, you know, I don't see it in the next year for sure.
So you're like,
announced
Well, to be perfectly honest, it's like both systems.
or drive.
There is no real super compelling reason to grab either one of them now.
The only one right now that I would really consider a system seller right now is Ironfall or whatever it's called. And
Titanfall.
And Second Sons. Those are the only two I could see as system sellers.
Yeah, but they're not out yet.
Right, and maybe
Right, so there's really no super compelling reason to grab them right now.
for some, I would say Forza is one as well.
Yeah, maybe.
So, you like Forza?
But you know, it's like most of the games that are going to be played on the new gen systems are going to be multiplats that are already on 360 and PS3 for the most part.
The thing though is sometimes those multiplats are worth a system. You know, if you spend, let's say again, the Battlefield 4 guys,
The Battlefield 4 guys are going to get a big improvement.
like if you spend that much time on a system, why not do it in the way that you get the most out of it with? You know,
Right.
and that, you know, if you do 700 hours in Battlefield, so what's, you know, the price of the PlayStation 4 divided by 700?
Right, but see, how many people
Pennies an hour.
spend 700 hours playing? You
No,
what
I
mean?
know. I'm just using it as an excuse.
So in real world terms, like the real compelling reason for the average gamer to run out and get a next gen now at absolute launch, it's just kind of like
I don't.
I can't imagine not getting it. I can't imagine not getting it just because.
I'm a tech head. I want it.
Yeah, but if money was tight, I'd probably say I'd have to wait until there's a good reason.
Yeah. If of course, money is always an issue. But even again, we all three of us and everybody else in sub one, most likely, I would also consider a little bit closer to the hardcore gamer side. None of us
definitely.
average gamers, pretty much.
Right. So we just can't stand the idea that there's a new console and we don't have it. And it's like, are you kidding?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm definitely in that boat, no doubt about it.
It's like there's no way I'm going to not have it.
And some people have the, they don't mind waiting for the first price drop or for Connect to be removed or
It's like or when they come out with a Slim or something like that, which will probably be 3 years.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to do a PS4 Slim. I'm sure they will.
Oh no, you know that they will.
Oh, yeah.
You know that they will.
I mean, electronics always get smaller, but I'm surprised at how small it is.
It is very small. Yeah, I saw it compared to the Xbox.
It's
The Xbox looks like a printer.
so yeah. They'll make.
But they're both going to come out with a Slim down the road.
Oh yeah.
I thought the original PlayStation looked sort of like a George Foreman grill.
It did. Well, didn't you see? There was pictures. There was somebody turned one into a griddle. It's funny, and you can. But
That's fair.
Yeah. So anyway, I think we've just about whipped this horse.
yeah, I was going to say I'm going to have to run and do some work and my shopping and stuff like that so that I have free time tonight. Oh, also I have to watch. Hey, if you like Walking Dead, take a look at Sons of Anarchy.
I tried to get at the very beginning episodes of it, the first couple ones that was on demand, and it wasn't grabbing me.
Oh, really? Oh,
I couldn't get past Peg Bundy.
I'll have to check it out.
Ow!
that's right. But no, that's another good one. Me and my wife watch it all the time.
Oh, and the guy who used to be the Beast.
Oh, yes, Coleman or whatever.
Yeah, that big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just couldn't get past him. He was Hellboy too.
Yeah, he's still in there. He didn't get killed off yet.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, well, they know where their bread is buttered.
Yeah.
So this has been a great episode of Bulletproof Underwear, and we'd like to especially thank a guest that's always good to have on is Marvelous M123 Marv. Wow!
Hey, the thanks goes to you guys for doing this every week. 72 episodes, not missing 1 week. There's something to be said right there, guys. Thank you on behalf of everybody.
Man.
Thank you.
Keep up, and I'll try to.
So
when you have these sessions with more than one guys on, I'll try to join in the future.
all right.
Cool.
Well, spread the word on your friends to watch the episode on YouTube and get a Google Plus so you can say good things.
Yeah, really.
So I am your co-host, Yam Juice.
And I'm your co-host, Flex.
And you know what that means. It wouldn't be the end without that.
That's right. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you whenever my goddamn PS4 gets delivered. My day one PS4 bundle.
Make them give you some swag, man. I'm serious.
Yeah. Amazon can eat me.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
All right.
Talk to you later.